Hi, my name is Charles Smith. I'm the Executive Director of Cultural Pluralism in the Arts Movement Ontario, and I'm here at the National Ballet School with Mateo Galindo Torres, who is a dancer and a multidisciplinary artist who will be performing for our 10th anniversary at Aki Studio in the Daniel Spectrum on May 27th. Mateo, good afternoon.
Hi.
Can you tell us about what you think you're going to be doing on the 27th at this point?
Well, I won't be performing. I am actually creating a solo on a collaborator of mine, Maria Lucia Llano. She's a Colombian dancer who graduated from York not long ago. And the exploration I'm doing right now with her is about grief. Or that's where we think we're gonna go. Okay. It's actually a very loaded topic for Maria Lucia because somehow recently she lost her father. So like in conversation with her, we are gonna figure out whether how's the best way to approach the topic, and kind of thinking of creating something like an homage to this to her father, and seeing how we can make it also kind of fit with the things I'm interested in my work, and yeah, so that's what I think I'm on what we're doing. We might decide to shift gears if we feel that that's probably too heavy or too soon, and I've given Maria Lucia the liberty to tell me at any point, you know what, maybe let's make a piece about flowers and butterflies because maybe it's too dark right now. But that's kind of the plan that we have right now.
So that's an interesting process, working with Maria Lucia in terms of looking at grief, but maybe not, given where you're at in the creative process. Can you talk about that a bit? The sort of, there's always this sense of the precarity of the creative process and whether or not things will be ready when you hope they are.
So, like the work that I do always ends up, whether intended or not, dealing with a bunch of personal things of the performers and whoever is presenting it. Whether it's me when I'm working with myself, when I'm working with someone else, I'm always very interested in the reality of the performer and the dancer as a human being, as an artist with experiences, with emotions, with feelings that really inform my creative process. But it's always a tricky balance because it's very important to make sure that it's something that is safe and healthy for both physically and emotionally for everyone performing it. So in a way, I always try to make my work a little bit like a therapy, like a way of dealing with my stuff and dealing with the stuff that we're going through, and hopefully in a way that is fulfilling and help us kind of grow tools to move forward.
Well, I imagine she might be feeling a bit tender at this stage. As you say, her father's recently passed, and grief is a natural emotion when we deal with the passing into another world. So what is that like, in a sense of connecting with someone who's got that so raw in her body to make it into an artistic practice?
It is a very delicate subject. We've so far had only one meeting, and within the one meeting we talked about the possibility. She feels that she wants to do this. That is something that she wants to do it. And I told her, let's do it. I'm here for you to whatever you need to do. But it is definitely a tricky place. That's why I told her we can jump. Shift tracks at any point, because it's very important. I do believe that taking care of the people you work with and being very conscious of what's available and present is very, very important. The way that I work, I like working with the things I have available, rather than imagining I want 300 lights and 800 dancers and 400 musicians, and I much rather see, okay, what do we have? What is going on in our lives, both emotionally and physically? Who am I working with, and what can we get the best out of it? Yeah, there's always an aesthetic choice of mine of the things I'm interested in, but it's always within the possibilities of what's available, right? and a lot of it is what's available for the performer at the time, or the collaborator, whoever I'm working with.
Well, I imagine she must feel a lot of trust to be able to engage in this process so close to this passing and dealing with that subject. So you two must know each other rather well.
Yeah, I was when she was finishing her last year at York, I was her outside eye for a piece that she created, and we developed a really close friendship. She became a little bit like a little sister for me.
That's nice.
Like we're both from the same city. We kind of connect culturally in many ways. We're both kind of in the same boat, that we're relatively recent immigrants to Canada and dealing with that kind of kind of in the between places. She wants to stay here in Canada, and she's already working in a school, and so that was like an easy way of connecting, like our cultural backgrounds, and we also see eye to many things.
Right.
And I feel, very privileged. She's trusting me with this.
Right.
And because of that, I feel like a huge sense of responsibility as well, of dealing with this the best possible way, or the best possible I can, the best way I can. So yeah.
Cool. So tell us about what you see as the process going forward. I mean, ideally it's this piece around grief, maybe not. And then how will you work that through with her to, say, be on stage May 27th at 8 o'clock at night?
Yeah, so the things I'm interested, like as an artist individually, the topic itself is in ritual, in dance as a spiritual practice, in art as a way of connecting with oneself and connecting with the world. I'm also very interested in this kind of balancing of instinctual response to movement, and also like using all the academic training of the ballet, the modern, all this knowledge, but highly ignited by this kind of personal place.
Right.
So whether we end up making a piece about grief itself or not, or whether we do it but we end up with something completely different that looks different to the outside eye, I do want it to create something that is transformative within the dance. So I've been kind of connected with a lot of my cultural roots in like Colombian, like how we went to go salsa with my mom, and like I was never trained per se in an academic sense in Colombian folklore or anything like that. But my mom is an amazing dancer, and she was a beautiful, she still does dance Colombian folklore, and with her in the party, like when I get back. So like I'm trying to really involve these things within what I'm doing.
Excellent.
And since Maria Lucia is also Colombian, so it's like we have a connection there. So
it's interesting. We've talked to a number of people performing who bring out the term spirituality as part of their work. This sense of there are worlds beyond what we physically see that are so important to how we develop. Can you talk about where that fits within your practice?
Yeah, I don't know if it's connected with other worlds or just connecting with this world and the parts of this world that we don't understand, right? I've been working a lot with Sashar Saref, who will be also part of this showcase, and he has become a huge inspiration for my work, with this idea of being comfortable with the unknown, comfortable with not knowing, and comfortable with searching in that place, not looking for like an answer, but perhaps a sense of peace, or a sense of balance within with what's going on, right? So yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult sometimes, but I do see my artistic practice as this is who I am right now, or what I think I am.
Right.
This is what I understand of myself.
Right.
It might change tomorrow. It's definitely not the same as it was yesterday. So okay, but I'm okay. This is okay. I don't need to pretend I'm anything else.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I've had the pleasure of seeing you with Aria Evans at the Artscape Young Place. I had the pleasure of seeing you with Sashar just before it rained at Dusk Dances. And also you've worked with the Windwillies Collective, so I've had a chance to work with you right up front. And to see you in your own right with Robin as part of Vanguardian. So I'm really looking forward to this with Maria Lucia. This is a new adventure that I'm sure for you and her, and it'll be for us as we approach our 10th anniversary. Mateo, glad you're joining us.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for being here this afternoon.
My pleasure. Very excited for this.
Great. CPAMO 10. I always say that.